Welcome to Manny's TV Talk, where we will talk about all of our favorite reality TV shows and news surrounding them. Grab a snack, a drink, and get comfortable because this starts now. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We're going to be talking about the new episode of Vanderpump Rules Season 11, Episode 7. Let's get right into it.
No,
Excuse me, do not talk to me like that,
Don't
bitch.
talk to me
I'm
like
telling you
this.
something.
Don't
you
put your
don't
talk
want it
to
with
me like that, bitch.
You do not want it with me. Disengage. Disengage.
Okay, let's start this episode so we see some beef footage of everyone in their house doing their little scenes because they're back from the Lake Tahoe trip. We see Sandoval go back to his house. Ariana was up in her room, so Sandoval is talking to the assistant about the trip. Then Scheana goes to Villa Rosa. So Scheana is there to tell Lisa Vanderpump that in this trip she had one of the most emotionally draining days of her life. She says that she's now going through grief when it pertains to her and Sandoval's relationship. Pretty much, she's still scared of Ariana. But wait, if Scheana couldn't get even more selfish, she says that she recently picked up Ariana's new boyfriend from the airport, and he happened to slip that Ariana is going to be on Dancing with the Stars, and LVP was like, "Oh no, my dear, you always wanted that." And Scheana says, "Yes, that's all I ever wanted." And she even throws some shade. She says that Ariana has come a long way from being her backup dancer, and Lisa says, "Well, why don't you tell her what's bothering you? Just tell her." So Scheana says, "I've tried, but she shuts me down." And Lisa says, "So are you just going to have friendships where you're going to be supporting that person, but they're not going to support you back?" And Scheana says, "That has been the story of my life." I mean, the victim mentality is crazy. So then we see Ariana and Lala go pick up some coffee and then just walking around. Ariana is showing Lala her new photo shoot that she made, and Ariana says that she enjoyed the photo shoot a lot because she doesn't really get the opportunity to be angry, and she got to in this photo shoot. Then the editors are so messy. They showed a whole bunch of scenes of Ariana being angry and like blowing up. So then Lala is telling Ariana about the feelings that Scheana had when they were in the trip, and how Scheana feels conflicted about being around Sandoval. She doesn't want to be fighting with him all the time for Ariana. Ariana says, "Well, I've never told Scheana to fight him." And Lala says, "I know, but like for example, she was getting dragged over that picture that a fan posted where she was next to Sandoval." Lala, say what you want about her, but she keeps it real. She asks, "Don't you think that you should have said something to defend her?" And Ariana's like, "Yeah, I guess. I just didn't want to make it into a big deal." Lala even says in her confessional, Ariana spent all day on social media, so she definitely saw it. Moving on, Katie goes to lunch with her friend Christina. I had forgotten completely about her. Lala joins them, and so does Scheana. So they're kind of just catching up, and then Scheana tells them about the trip that they just took and how during the spiritual thing that Sandoval did, she saw genuine tears from him. And Christina asks, "Do you think Sandoval is more sad for losing you than he is losing Ariana?" And Scheana straight up says yes. She says that he was miserable when he was dating Ariana. They both were. And then she even makes a comparison to Jax and Brittany. So I thought it was interesting that they were talking about that. And Scheana says that she has missed Sandoval and how he has treated her in the past. I mean, she always brings up that, when the show first started, he was the only one who would bring her around. And yeah, and has been... She says that Ariana is definitely okay because she's healed and she's thriving and making millions, but Katie wants Scheana to forget anything good that Sandoval ever did to Scheana. She literally says, like, cut him off. And Lala's like, "I don't think it's fair for you to ask that." But then they kind of just move on. They don't want to talk about this all day, so they're kind of having some fun. And Scheana, she says that she slept with the bartender that's over there. But Katie goes back to it and says, "I don't like talking about Sandoval. He's been awful to me and awful when I had my marriage. He's a trash human being. He's a demon," she says. Then we see Sandoval and Lisa. I thought it was nice that she employed a lot of the people who were at Pump because, they closed down. So she brought them over to Tom Tom's. So that's nice. Sandoval brought some ice cream. I thought that was funny. So Sandoval talks about the trip and says he really misses Rachel. He wants to still have at least a friendship with her. So Vanderpump says, "Yeah, I needed to talk to you about this." So she talked to Rachel, and she's not happy with Sandoval. Lisa says that Rachel told her that Sandoval told her that life is about lying. Rachel blocked Tom, and Lisa continues to see that Rachel told her that Sandoval manipulated her and that she doesn't love him anymore. So Sandoval was really sad about this. Then Lisa goes to see Lala. They're at Lala's office. That's very nice. Lala says that she's going to rebrand. She's going to give a rebrand to her Give Them Lala brand. She doesn't want her name to be so out there when it pertains to the brand. She kind of wants it to stand for itself. And she also says she's looking for a sperm donor because she really wants a baby. So she's made her mind up. Lisa says, why not just find someone and like have a baby like, naturally, the natural way. And Lala says, I don't want a baby daddy. She's still gonna have one, obviously, but like not legally. So I get that. She doesn't want any problems. And currently Lala is pregnant, so congratulations. Then Lala tells Lisa about the trip and how she told Ariana that she should have defended Scheana after that picture. And Ariana actually did go on her Instagram after Lala and her talk, so that's good. The next scene is Schwartz with his friend Joe. They go to Sir with Allie and James, and Joe looks like a cool chick. And even though Katie had already talked mess about Joe, but who cares what Katie thinks? So James jokes if they are friends with benefits. They say, nah, we're not. As far as the trip, James says that he was actually really happy to make up with Sandoval, and he's gonna see what happens. So they're in the middle of talking about like the dog that they just got and stuff like that, and then they see Sandoval approach. And he says that he just happened to be walking down the street. What a coincidence, right? So he sits down and all of them are just hanging. Schwartz then talks about some guys night out idea that he wants to have, and James and Sandoval say that they're in. So then we see Schwartz hanging out with Joe again. It's interesting. They gave Joe a whole confessional. And here's the thing. They've actually hooked up recently. So I'm just thinking, why don't y'all just date? Just give it a chance. Moving forward, Allie is preparing for her little get together, her girls' night that she's having. It's for her astrology night. All the girls are there. Allie, bless her heart, she tried to make a charcuterie board. She definitely tried. Allie continues to then read her stars and the moons. I don't know nothing about that. But I always find it interesting that in these shows, these reality shows, whenever there is a psychic or whoever, they always seem to read someone, a certain person, literally with exactly what's happening with them. I find that pretty interesting. So then we see the man go out, and I liked it. They were all wearing suits, but Brock, I don't know, it looked like he was wearing a woman's blouse under his suit. It was weird. But they're having good food. It's a Brazilian place where you have a green card and then you keep it on and they keep serving you food, and then when you finally flip it red is when they stop serving you. So they're having that and they're having some fun. Then Sandoval is a little reluctant to bring this up because of James, but James says he can say whatever he wants. So then he starts talking about how he's been really missing Rachel and he's really sad that she ghosted him. But going back to the ladies, this was interesting but not surprising. So Ariana says that she was actually in a horrible place financially before the scandal. I think it's crazy how these reality stars can be so financially irresponsible. Like she said, she literally had like 2,000 left in the bank before this happened. So Scheana happened to also get a text about the guys hanging out. I think Brock was like updating her, and Ariana makes a comment saying that she can't believe that James would not respect himself and go there with Sandoval. So then Lala, she's keeping it real. She says, I'm sorry, but Ariana, everyone is kind of scared of losing you, but the reality is that with time, people are going to get over it because they were not personally affected like this the way you were. So then Lala asks Ariana, let me ask you this point blank. If someone is cool with Sandoval, what are you going to do? And Ariana says, I'm not going to F with them. Okay, so there you go, says Lala. And Scheana was just kind of sitting there like a sad little puppy, not knowing what to say. Lala says that she just doesn't want Ariana to get in a bitter place like she did when she broke up with Randall. So then Katie says, well, you can't interject your relationship. You can't compare it. Lala says, believe me, if I compared it, it would not be a good what I would have to say about it. So then Katie says, well, then say it, bitch. Just say it. So then Lala and Katie start to go at it. They start to say, don't talk to me like that, B. They are going at, they don't like each other. And then Katie says, you were doing a bit much. And Lala says, you're a bit much all the time. So that was crazy. I think Katie definitely likes to sow in negativity, and I'm sure she's whispering bad things about Lala and Scheana to Ariana's ear. But yeah, go Lala. Katie was so mad. Listen, as far as Ariana, I think that I still think she might be playing her hatred towards Sandoval a little bit too much, kind of to pander to her quacky fans. I think she's gonna get over it. I think she actually is. I don't think she really cared that much. I'm gonna be totally honest. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. We then got the mid-season trailer, and it actually looked pretty good. I'm excited to see what's to come this season. But yeah, let me know what y'all thought about this episode. What y'all thought about Lala going off on Katie, and anything else you want to tell me. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. You'll have a great one.